guys, welcome to the Library of Dyslexia. Today we're going to be going over a translation of Pascal's Wager. It's kind of a short piece of philosophy, and so I'll talk about it a little bit at the end, not much commentary, but here we go. Our soul is flung into the body where it finds number, time, dimensions. Our soul reasons about this and calls it nature, necessity, and can believe in nothing else. Unity joined to infinity adds nothing to it any more than 1 foot would increase an infinite distance. The finite disappears before the infinite and becomes pure nothing. That is how our spirit is before God. Such is our justice before divine justice. The disproportion between our justice and God's is not so great as that between unity and infinity. God's justice must be immense like his mercy. Now his justice toward the damned is not so immense and should be less shocking to us than his mercy toward the elect. We know there is an infinite without knowing its nature, since we know it is false that numbers are finite. Therefore it is true that there is a numerical infinite, but we do not know what it is. It is false to call it even, it is false to call it odd, for adding a unit to it does not change its nature. Nevertheless, it is a number, and every number is either even or odd. It is true that this is obvious for all finite numbers. In the same way, we can know that there is a God without knowing what he is. Is there not a substantial truth, seeing there are many true things that are not truth itself? We therefore know both the existence and the nature of the finite, because we are finite and extended in the same way. We know the existence of the infinite and are ignorant of its nature, because it has extension as we do, but lacks our limits. But we know neither the existence nor the nature of God, because he has neither extension nor limits. But we know his existence by faith. By his glory we will know his nature. Now, I have already shown that we can definitely know the existence of a thing without knowing its nature. Let us now speak according to natural lights. If there is a God, he is infinitely incomprehensible, because having neither parts nor limits, he has no connection, rapport, with us. We are therefore incapable of knowing either what he is or whether he is. That being so, who will dare try to resolve this question? It is not a task for us who have no connection with him. Who will blame Christians then for not being able to give a reason for their belief when they profess a religion for which no reason can be given? In offering their faith to the world, they declare it to be folly, stultitium, and then you complain when they don't prove it. If they did prove it, they would not be keeping their word. Their want of proof is just what absolves them of a want of sense. Yes, but although that may excuse those who offer their faith as unprovable and exempt them from blame when they bring it forward without proof, it does not excuse anyone who accepts it. Let us examine that point. Put it this way, God either exists or he doesn't. But which way do we lean? Reason is no help. An infinite chaos separates us from God. A game is being played at the limit of that distance in which either heads or tails is the outcome. What will you wager? Reason will not lead you one way or the other. Reason undermines neither. Therefore, don't condemn those who have made a choice, since you know nothing about it. No, but I will blame Christians for having made not this choice, but any choice. For although the one who takes heads and the one who takes tails are equally blameworthy, both are to blame. The right thing is not to wager. Yes, but you must wager. It is not voluntary. You are embarked. Which will you take then? Look, since you have to choose, let's look for what is least in your interest. You have 2 things to lose, the true and the good, and 2 things to draw on, your reason and your will, your knowledge and your beatitude. Your nature seeks to avoid 2 things, error and misery. Because you must choose, your reason is not wounded any more in choosing one side than the other. One point is thus disposed of, but what of your beatitude? Let us weigh the gain and loss if you choose heads that God exists. Let us appraise the 2 cases. If you win everything, and if you lose nothing. Wager then on his existence without hesitation. That is wonderful. Yes, I have to bet, but perhaps I'm betting too much. Let's see. If you had only 2 lives to win against 1 to lose, you could wager, but what if there were 3 to win? You would have to bet because you have no choice, and you would be imprudent when you are forced to play not to bet your life to win 3 in a game where the odds of losing and winning are equal. But there is an eternity of happy life. And that being so, even if there were an infinite number of possible outcomes of which only one was in your favor, you would still be right to bet 1 to get 2, and you would be making a mistake if, when obliged to play, you refused to stake 1 life against 3 in a game where only one of an infinite number of outcomes is in your favor, provided there was an infinity of infinitely happy life to win. But in this case, there is an infinity of infinitely happy life to win, 1 chance of winning against finite chances of losing, and what you risk is finite. Wherever the infinite is present and the risks of loss are not infinite as against the likelihood of winning, there is no place for opinion. There is nothing to deliberate about. You have to risk everything you've got, and thus, when you're forced to play, you'd be crazy to keep your life instead of risking it for an infinite gain, an outcome no less likely to occur than a loss which amounts to nothing. For nothing is accomplished if you say that winning is uncertain while it is certain that we take a risk, and that infinite distance between the certainty of what we put at risk and the uncertainty of what we stand to win makes the finite good one certainly puts at risk equal to the infinity we are not certain to win. That is not how things stand. Every player takes risks that are certain for wins that are not. And even if he takes a certain finite risk for an uncertain finite gain, he still does not sin against reason. There is no infinite distance between that certainty of what we put at risk and the uncertainty of winning. That is false. There really is an infinity between the certainty of winning and the certainty of losing, but the uncertainty of winning is in the same proportion to the certainty of what we put at risk as the chances of winning and losing. And that is why, when there are as many chances on one side as on the other, the game is to be played at equal odds. Then the certainty of what you put at risk, far from being infinitely distant, is equal to the uncertainty of what you stand to gain. Thus, our proposition has infinite force when a finite amount is risked in a game where the odds of losing or winning are the same, and there is infinity to be won. That is demonstrative, and if there is any truth men are capable of grasping, that is it. Boom. I confess I admit it, but still there is no way of knowing the outcome of the game. Yes, scripture and the rest, etc. Yes, but my hands are tied and my tongue is mute. I am forced to wager and yet not free to do so. I am not released from betting and yet am so made that I cannot believe. What do you expect me to do? Is it true? But recognize at least that your inability to believe arises from your passions, since reason draws you toward wagering and yet you cannot do it. Try to convince yourself not by working through proofs for the existence of God, but by weakening your passions. You wish to move toward faith, but you don't know the way. You want to cure yourself of unbelief, and you ask about remedies. Learn from those who are bound like you and who now wager all they have. They are people who are familiar with the way you wish to travel and are cured of the illness from which you seek to recover. Follow the method by which they began. They got there by doing everything as if they believed, taking holy water, having masses said, and so on. This will make you believe by natural means and will make you stupid. But that is what I fear. But why? What have you got to lose? But to show you that it will work, it's what weakens the passions that are your great obstacles, etc. End of this conversation. Well, what harm will it do you to take this bet? You will be faithful, honest, humble, grateful, beneficent, a sincere friend, authentic. It is true you will not be involved in poisoned pleasures and glory in voluptuousness, but will you not have other joys? I tell you, you will profit in this life, and with every step you take on this path, you will see such certainty of gain and so much nothingness in what you put at risk, that you will know at last that you wagered for something certain and infinite, which cost you nothing. Oh, these words carry me away, they delight me, etc. If this proposal pleases you and seems powerful to you, know that it was put forward by a man who fell to his knees beforehand and afterwards to pray to that infinite undivided being to whom he submits all that is his own, that he might also submit to himself all that is yours, both for your good and for his glory, so that power would be reconciled with lowliness. Anyways, that's it. Good stuff. Just wanted to say something. So I try to avoid politics and religion for the most part. I don't take any specific denominational stance. I try not to say, like, if you're an atheist, you're stupid. If you're a Christian, you're stupid. If you're this, that, or the other religion, you're stupid. I'm just trying to stick to philosophy. Religion does come up sometimes on this channel. That is part of the nature of philosophy. They do talk about politics and religion on occasion. Something I also want to bring to readers' attention is that Blase Pascal, I'm probably saying his name wrong, type in the comments below if you want. Anyways, Pascal, he was Catholic. At the time, there really wasn't much of a Protestant movement in France, didn't really exist, wasn't really a thing. And so basically, don't think too much about the Catholicism part of it. I mean, if you're Catholic, that's cool if you enjoy that. And then if you're Protestant, that's cool if you enjoy that. The purpose of the channel is to talk about that. That's it. I just wanted to cover that one. Also, this channel is not intended for children. So FTC, do not sue me. Children, go away. Thank you. If you have any questions, send any questions to libraryofdyslexia@gmail.com. And then if you have any questions or topic requests, we can do that. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye. For although the one who takes the heads... Look, since you have to choose, let's look for what... You have two things to lose, the true and the good. The two things to draw on... You have two things to lose, the true and the good. And two things to draw on, your reason and your will. Your knowledge. Because you must choose, your reason is not wounded. Wow. Whatever the If, when obliged to play, you refuse to stake one life against three in a game where only one of an infinite number of outcomes is in your favor, provided there was an infinity of infinitely happy life to win. But in this case, there is an infinity of infinitely happy life to win, one chance of winning against finite chances of losing, and what you risk is finite. You stand to win makes the finite good. I'm gonna just start over. Well, what harm will it do you to take it? Anyways, if you have any questions, email libraryofgmail.